Well, hello, my soul friends. I don't know why I have the giggles right now. Maybe because I'm happy to be here with you again on a video when I haven't felt like being with you on a video. I'll tell you more about that in just a moment. But welcome to the Soul Nurturer channel. This is a space, a sacred space that I'm trying to cultivate for anyone out there who needs to drop in and have some connection with someone who is familiar with the transformational journey, who is actually going through a transformational journey continually. I'm a Scorpio, who this channel is about bringing support for your unfolding, for a collective unfolding, and a bunch of other things. Honestly, part of the reason I'm discussing the topic I have today called liminal spaces is because I am in one, and I believe we all are in one. If this is your first time stopping by here, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm always so honored and grateful when someone out there in the world, I've had people from all over the world send me messages or comment, take the time to do so because something I'm saying reaches you right where you are. So please do subscribe if you feel called to. I would invite you to check out some of the other videos to get a sense of what I'm attempting to bring. And I say attempting because I am in a reconfiguration process or a liminal space, which I'm going to tell you more about because I have a sense many of you are as well. But so I ask for some grace and your patience because, when I first launched this channel, I had this, agenda. I was going to do 2 or 3 videos a week and topic focused and this and that and the other. And then I started the channel before the pandemic started, and the pandemic pulled us all into a collective time of transformation. But really, we were and are still in some degree, and collectively and individually, in a liminal space. So I was thinking about this the other day, and I want to be honest with you. I'm like, gosh, I don't really feel called to continue. No, let me say it this way. I don't really want to do a video, but I feel called to do a video. I don't know what to talk about on the videos because I am in the in-between space of transformation. So a liminal space is when you have transitioned out of an old way of being, an old patterning, old lifestyle, and you have yet to cultivate the new normal or develop and create, manifest your vision. So you're kind of in this holding pattern, right? And if you follow me on Instagram, which I'm not there very much either, I'm not really called to be on social media because, and maybe you relate to this, and if you do, comment, because I'm needing to listen to my own soul. I can't be pulled into trends right now. What's trending is your soul is calling you. So perhaps you're feeling this too, and I would encourage you, if you feel like you relate to a liminal space, and I'll tell you some of the characteristics of that, but quite simply, you're not who you used to be, and you're not yet who you are possible. Your possible self hasn't emerged yet, or life isn't as it was, and the new life and the new normal has yet to emerge. Liminal spaces can be, can be grief, can be being pregnant, being a mother for the first time. Anytime it's like a rites of passage. It's like you are being initiated into a new way, and yet you're not there yet. It's the cocoon phase of the caterpillar going in to cocoon time and dissolving all of what it was, and yet not yet developed into the butterfly or the moth. And I love referencing the life story of the caterpillar going into the cocoon, the chrysalis, dissolving, because when it dissolves, it's no longer the caterpillar and it's not yet the butterfly, but it has one cell called the imagineal cell that holds the blueprint of what is to come. This is the liminal space, my friends. This place that requires deep trust, great faith, and strengthens our faith. But it's a tricky space, okay? Oh, I was telling you about my Instagram. Not quite there a lot as much as I used to. I find myself reposting old posts because I don't have my new message yet. I've got a lot of new things I'm drawn to. I'm studying. I'm pulled into deepening my wisdom well. And so I don't know how to articulate it all the time. Works well in one-on-one sessions because when I'm with my clients, it's like somehow it all becomes available to me as I'm supporting that one person. But talking in generalities is a little hard for me. But anyway, I posted the other day a new post because it was right where I was. And that's why I do these videos. I know we're so connected that if I'm experiencing something, so are you, or at least some of you are. So this message came to me. If you keep trying to get back to who you were, let me try that again. Liminal spaces, it's a hard time talking to. You're like, truly, when you're learning a whole new vocabulary or a whole new way of being is emerging, it's like this glitching in the brain because, I don't do it that way anymore and I haven't practiced in the new way yet. But so give yourself grace. I'm going to tell you more about the characteristics or the things you may be noticing in a liminal space. But here's the message that came. If you keep trying to get back to who you were, you'll miss out on who you are becoming. So this is a becoming, not quite there yet. It requires a lot of trust and allowing and patience. So I'll give you some of the feelings and the experience may bring for you. And I noticed this in myself the other day, and I was like, okay, of course, you're in a liminal space, or I call it reconfigurating, which is where you're sort of unhooking from old patterns, old beliefs, and you have yet to emerge really sustainable new patterns. So you're reconfigurating. So if you're in a liminal space, you may feel disoriented. You may feel confused. You may feel like you might say, I just don't feel like myself anymore. You may feel exhausted for a number of reasons. One, I have this image of, treading water. We're just like, we've left the shore of what we've known and we've yet to arrive at the new land before us, what we're visioning for, what we're working for, what we're co-creating. And we're treading water and we're so tired. So it could be because of that. I also think it's because your soul is working extra hard to get your attention. So you may be having vivid dreams. You may be just like constantly be bombarded with information. That can feel overwhelming because you don't know where to put it just yet. So some other things you may notice is you're losing interest in things that you used to be interested in. You're not excited about them anymore. This may be also friendships that used to feed you no longer feed you. Your hobbies, what you were like excited to do, you're just kind of meh. Meh is kind of a liminal space. So the normal, in quote, activities you used to do on a regular basis or were drawn to have sort of are fading away from you because they're no longer aligned with who you are becoming. And that's the tricky place because you don't quite know who you're becoming completely. You have a sense, hopefully you have a sense of your soul essence, but we're so conditioned in our early programming to lose contact with our essence that oftentimes I'm having this image of like a an avalanche of information on us that we have to dig out of it. Who am I really? Not, not these labels, not who my family thinks I am, not who my friends think I am. Who am I really at a deep soul level? Who does God see me as? And what does God have in store for me? And that requires some deep, deep listening and soul work. I keep thinking of this quote from Carolyn Mace I heard a long time ago, and I thought, oh, spot on, and I think it's really applicable right now. And this is really paraphrasing. I don't know the exact quote, but it was something like, some of us on a spiritual path, we're called to these deep dives. We're called to deepening our spiritual walk and our transformational process. Really paraphrasing. In fact, this may not even be Carolyn Mace anymore. It may just be me. But one thing she did say that really struck me, she said, it used to be when we were called to a spiritual path, we would join a monastery and we would do our work there. But many of us are called to a spiritual path because it's needed. We're all called to awaken, to contribute something new to the higher unfolding, to the collective unfolding. But we're asked to do it in our day-to-day lives, with our day-to-day responsibilities. And that can be challenging, especially when you're morphing, when you're like transmuting your past self into your future self, into your possible self. It can be quite challenging. Now, in this state, and again, I said grief can be a liminal space, which is a natural space of adjusting to life no longer how it was with the person that your loved one no longer in the world. So you're adjusting, you're shifting, you're not quite yet restored. You'll never be the same person after the loss of a loved one. Never. There's no timeline on a calendar that says your grief work is complete now. Carry on. Never. Grief is constantly weaving in this new way of being into the fabric of your life. The loss is part of your tapestry of who you are, and the person, your loved one, is woven into that. And all the qualities you loved about them are woven into your being. So this takes some time, right? So it's a space to requires a lot of grace, acceptance, trust, and a deepening of faith. Okay, I found this quote, and I wanted to, I'm not a Bible expert by any means. I love many verses in the Bible. And I Googled, I wanted information on other people's perspectives of the liminal space. And this quote arrived. I clicked on it because it said, liminal spaces in the Bible. I was like, oh, tell me about that. And so this verse, but I couldn't find it in the Bible. So I think somebody paraphrased from Luke 23 to, looks like Luke 24, somewhere in between there are these words, but I think this person put them together, but they didn't put their name. So anyway, it spoke to me and I want to share it with you. May the disorientation of life and events, the liminal space we find ourselves in, be a place where our faith is built. I just love that. It continues, may the disorientation of life and events, the liminal space we find ourselves in, be a place where our faith is built. May we continue to wait on God. This, to me, my friends, is the liminal space. Waiting. We've done all we can do. This is, again, where I say visioning is really important. You've visioned, you're working with your dreams, you're listening, you have a sense of a soul call or a soul desire, and yet nothing's moving, nothing's shifting. This is where great faith needs to accompany us, companion us, as we wait on the divine to open the next door. And oftentimes in liminal spaces, we're sitting next to an old door that is closed because we want that. We think we want that. That's where we want to be. A liminal space may cause you to have dreams of old relationships or a younger self, another time in the past. And those are only Well, they're showing you that there's a longing in the liminal space to go back to the comfort zone, but we can no longer, this is really important about liminal spaces, we can no longer go back to what was. We are in the process of creating something greater yet to be. Many people will go back. They'll go backwards to something, a relationship, a job, because at least they knew what that was. A lot of people don't feel comfortable in the great mystery and the waiting on God. It can be really challenging. So is any of this relating to you? Let me know, comment for sure, ask any questions. I can respond to those. Are you feeling disoriented? How are you feeling in this moment? I have a sense, like I said, I'm not alone in this space. Also, we're in Pisces season, which can feel kind of, very liminal. Pisces can be very fuzzy, it's ruled by Neptune. I can't quite make sense of this. Well, and very dreamlike. We are in the process of dreaming new dreams individually and collectively. So we're going to feel off. We're not going to feel like ourselves. And we need to give thanks for that, and trust. I don't want to feel like my old self. I'm ready to emerge my highest possibility, my highest potential, my possible self, and my possible new beginning. And so how do we manage this in-between space? This cocooning phase. I have a poem here that I'd like to read, and maybe you'd like to actually just close your eyes with me for a moment. Let's go in for a moment and I'll read the poem, and then I'd like to invite you, after I read the poem or after you drop in, if you can close your eyes and take just a few minutes to connect with yourself, to connect with your soul. Listen to the words, or as I'm guiding you, see what images show up. Maybe you want to hold this thought. What do I need to know about this transitional time for me? What do I need to be reminded of? Or what is trying to emerge for my highest good out of the current situation I'm in? So go ahead, and if you're comfortable, close your eyes and just drop into your inner world. The inner world that we need to make more and more connection with. To connect with our own hearts, our own souls, our own desires. To turn away from the day-to-day activities, to turn away from the trends, what's trending. What I heard just now is what's trending is never ending. There's always some trend to chase. And chasing the trends, you lose yourself. You lose connection to your soul. And I'm feeling, kind of hearing that these liminal states can be extended, elongated, if we're paying too much attention to the external and not enough on the inner. It like disrupts the unfolding. That's what I'm getting. And as we just breathe into our bodies and connect to our bodies, our home for our souls, our own unique body, our own unique being, our own unique souls. No one like you. No one has the exact blueprint of your soul, and no one has your unique potential. This is where we need to tune out of social media, because the comparison can bring up not enough, not measuring up, they're doing it better, I'm not enough. That is the conditioned stuff. That is the ego. We want to connect to soul, which is like, hey, we're all unique. So breathing into your body, giving way, saying, yes, soul, expand my inner awareness, my sacred awareness. Guide me through this time. Invite in, let your soul know I'm open to receive guidance through dreams, through imagery, through earth angels. Maybe a book comes across your path, that's for you. Or you just see something, even in your home, even when you open your eyes coming back, you might notice something your eyes lock on. And just ask yourself, what is this guiding me to know? What does it represent? Being willing to sit with the symbols that arise, the imagery that arise, your dreams. If you want more work or information on dream work, contact me. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. But right now, just breathing into your body and, okay, soul, I'm giving away, connecting. If there's anything you want me to know, to become aware of, allow an image to form, or hear, perhaps your auditory, you'll hear a message for you. So just staying inward, breathing in what you need to be connected to yourself as I read this poem called Liminal Space by Polly Castor. I just Googled and this beautiful poem came up. Again, Polly Castor is the author. Liminal space. In this waiting place, we loiter, hover, on a tentative cusp, a threshold between the familiar and the unknown, with no possible retreat. The customary comfort zone is gone, and where the entrance ushers is not yet seen. Our new question, let alone the answer, still is ambiguous. We are in limbo. We can either hesitate or go forward. The gossamer veil of divine nearness flutters ever so lightly, breathing inseparably close as we step to embrace the unrevealed with trust. A shimmering opportunity for connection and listening and being led right on through. Lean into this portal. It is the doorstep to the fruitful ground. So just breathing into those words, maybe an image arrived for you. And just sitting with the question, what do I need to know? If you feel like you're in a liminal space right now, maybe your question is, how do I cultivate more trust, more faith? Maybe your question is, what would faith tell me in this moment? And what do I need to remember to hold myself in grace and trust and patience and faith as I wait on God? Okay, so come on back. Maybe you can take some time to go journal. Hopefully you got something. I'd love for you to share if something came through for you, a message, image. Just wanted to let you know you're not alone. Truly, we are in transitional times together. I do believe that this year, 2023, is a time of big breakthroughs, huge breakthroughs, and they're around the corner. But right now, trust that where you are in this liminal space is preparing you for what you have desired, what you're visioning for in the future. So don't be tempted to go backwards. That will only delay the gifts of the future. It will only delay your potential and your possibilities. Okay, I hope this makes sense to you. Like I said, I'm in a very liminal space. I feel very fuzzy and kind of very dreamlike. So hopefully you met me in this dream space and can feel the invitation to a higher way of being. And thanks for being with me. As always, I'm so honored by anyone's presence. I do thank you for your patience too as I'm unfolding this channel. I know that I have lost a few subscribers, and I think it's because I haven't been consistent. I plan on being more consistent. I am definitely doing new things. I'm doing interviews, and you're seeing me in real time, listening to my guidance and being vulnerable and not perfect and transparent, and that I'm learning to walk a new walk myself and learning to take advice from myself from the past that will help me in the future. So I'm in the process of dismantling a lot of old patterns, a lot of old beliefs, and welcoming welcoming and reclaiming my higher soul potential. All right, thanks for being with me. So much love. Take good care. Until next time. Thank you.